Back in the garden now, we find the chairman of the Athletic Commission, Bob Christenberry, speaking to attentive Toots Shore. And there's the current heavyweight champion, Jersey Joe Walcott, and J. Edgar Hoover, Stuart Symington on his left. Rocky Marciano meets Joe Lewis at the center of the ring for last-minute instructions by referee Ruby Goldstein. And in a moment, round one of a scheduled 10-round bout. Joe Lewis, balding and bulky, eagerly answers the bell. The big question tonight, can the ex-champion come back? He's the slight favorite. Rocky maneuvers Lewis to the ropes and lands a right to the jaw in the opening seconds of round one. Lewis seeking to beat Marciano and thus regain the role of leading contender for the heavyweight crown. Marciano going for his 38th straight win, his 33rd by knockout. Lewis working behind his left jab. And for the third time in the round, Marciano forces Lewis to the ropes. He fires to the body and gets in a left uppercut. Lewis tries to punch his way free, but at the end of round, and catches a winging left hook from Rocky Marciano. Once more, Lewis finds his back to the ropes. Rocky forced him to the stand 3 times in the first round. And here he is, still bullying the ex-champion. Marciano likes to pin his man back, then go to work on the head and body. Rocky, about to miss a right, lands a hard left hook to the head. He's pressuring, gunning for a shot at the heavyweight title. Did you see how quickly he recovered after the... Lewis, you remember, became champion of the world by knocking out Jim Braddock in 1937. He successfully defended the crown 25 times before he gave it up in 1949. Up till then, he had been defeated only once. Right grazes Lewis's jaw. Marciano goes to work on the body at the end of round 2. A big round for Rocky. Joe Lewis, in dark trunks, knows he's behind as he answers the bell for round 3. The reflexes of this 37-and-a-half-year-old ex-champion seem to be rusted through, and some observers at ringside have even been predicting an early knockout. But now you'll see some of the old bomber coming back. You'll see him using his once famous left jab, the punch he always used to set up his barrages. 17,000 fans in Madison Square Garden are wondering if the ex-champion can stage a comeback. Remember, Lewis is the slight favorite tonight. He's looking for an opening for that right-hand bomb of his. Lewis, too, has always been a hard right-hand hitter. Lewis pawing with his left. He wants to keep this Marciano away from him. He wants to move in, to stalk. Lewis, you remember, was always the master stalker. Now, here he is, being pressured himself. Rocky misses a sweeping right. Now keep watching, and you'll see him duck straight into a left hook by Lewis. Once before, Joe hurt his left hand in a fight with Jimmy Bivens. It was damaged again here in the 3rd round. But we're going to see the bomber throwing that left jab again and again in the rounds to come. It's the only weapon he still commands completely. For the first time in the round, Joe Lewis finds his back to the rope. But you'll see him move out of there and circle around to get back to mid-ring. Lewis moving a little better in this round, but again, he's back to the ropes, where Marciano fails to land effectively. Those long lefts by Lewis are meant to keep Marciano away and to set him up for a hard right or a barrage. Apparently, those jabs by Lewis are beginning to bother Marciano. The Brockton strong boy will miss some sweeping blows. First, a right. Now another right. And a left. the ropes in the final seconds of round 3. A frame will call even.
You watch.
Rocky Marciano in white trunks answers the bell for round 4 of a scheduled 10-round bout. Watch him throw a left and catch a left. Joe seems unable to put together those famous barrages of his. Barrages that so far have mowed down 56 rivals. For most of the round, they slug away at close range, with both men trying a number of uppercuts. Here comes a right uppercut by Marciano. It fell short. He tries another hard right uppercut. He's missing a great deal, as you can see. And now Marciano seems unable to bully Joe around the ring. Joe's making his best showing of the fight so far. Just a left hook by Marciano and uses his left jab to make Rocky miss with his right. Watch. Joe won the last round, and he seems completely confident here in the 5th. So far, from the very start, Marciano has been doing the crowding, taking the play from Lewis, who once was the stalker himself. So the man once famous for his stalking methods, his blazing barrages, might succeed in outboxing the cruder, less polished Marciano. Lewis using a wider stance now. He's becoming a little more flat-footed. This has been a good round for Joe, but here we see telltale signs that the ex-champion is tiring. Still, he's moving pretty well and manipulating that left. Lewis pushes Marciano away. Watch Lewis return a counter right. So far, that right has caused little real damage. A winging right by Marciano misses the target. But as Lewis sticks out his jab, you see him catch a right, then a left, driving him to the rope. Here comes another right. Lewis, in dark trunks, has been trying to fire a barrage to the body, one of his most devastating maneuvers when he was in his prime. But so far, his legs and... Marciano trying uppercuts. Lewis attempting to cover. He's definitely on the defensive. Is near. Round 7 awarded unanimously to Marciano. At the bell, they come out slugging for round 8. Rocky pressuring right from the start as though determined to end the fight in this round. And as things turned out, that's for Lewis to punch. Marciano's short arms, normally a handicap, actually are an advantage at close range because he generates terrific power. It's a matter of left. Hard left hook sends Lewis sprawling to the canvas. Referee Ruby Goldstein counts to 8 before Lewis gets back to his feet. Rocky tears in, pushing with everything he's got. Backs his man to the ropes to finish him off. Now watch, a left, another left crumples Lewis. A blazing right, and Lewis sails through the ropes. The working press try to help Joe back off the ring apron. Referee Goldstein on the left simply looks at the stricken fighter and knows that the ex-champion is finished for the night. Kneeling in the dark suit is Dr. Vincent Nardiello. Lewis is out. Brought down by a power pack right to the jaw at 2 minutes, 36 seconds of the 8th round. This is the second time in his career he was knocked out, and the first since Max Schmeling did it in 1936. Rocky is congratulated by trainer Charlie Goldman on the left and by his old-time friend Ali Colombo. Lewis fought only exhibitions after that. As he himself summed up his knockout by Marciano, the reactions were not there. My age counted against